Good morning everybody. It's very windy here today. Apparently we're expecting another Storm Babette. We're going to get lots of rain. It's very windy. Going to be high winds again today, tomorrow, and then a weather warning out until Saturday apparently, according to the Met Office, but we'll see what arrives. But what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd get out in the yard and get my fleece done, because my fleece needs to come out of the bin. It's not going to get any warmer now. I think it's done all the washing that it's going to do, and it needs to come out. Excuse the noise in the background, it's the washing machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the twin tub out. I've got a twin tub washing machine, a little camping one. And I'm going to put the fleece in there, get the hose pipe, put some buckets of water in, and the fleece will wash itself. I can spin it and then I can hang it up on the yard here in my areas that I've got. So that's the plan. But whether it works out that way is another matter, because I have 20 minutes to get it done before my mum comes. So that's going to be fun, that's going to be exciting. So I'm just going to get on with that and get the bin out, put on the camera on, and you can watch me washing the bin, washing out the fleece. So see you in a minute. So this is ready. As you can see on the top, there's lots of grease and dirt, so that's ready to come out now. Sorry about the noise, it's very windy here today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it all out of the bin. I'm going to take it over to the grid, spin the water out, and then pop it to dry. So we'll just do that together. Right, so that's my twin tub, and for some reason it's not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spin it out, and then I'm going to have to wash it in a bucket in handfuls. But I'm not going to do that today because it's far too windy. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to rinse it out, pop it through the spinner, rinse it out, and then it should be okay. I'm going to concentrate on getting the white off. In fact, I can't, it's all mixed together now. So it's in the spinner. If it was summer, I'd be catching all the water, but I don't need it this time of year. Spin it until all the water's out. And there's our first lot. Oh, it's lovely fleece. Very nice fleece. Look how beautiful that is. This is a lamb fleece. Yeah, so that's okay. Right, next lot. The smell does dry out of it. If you're wondering about the smell, it does wash out. And when it's dry, there's no smell left. So I'm not too bothered. I think this is going to be spun up on the wheel, so I'm not too fussed about that, because I can wash it when it's been spun. Right, so that's pretty much it. I'm just going to finish this lot off and then I'll show you it when it's hung up. So this water now can be put on the garden. I'm going to put it on my fruit trees to give them a feed before the winter. It's not worth me keeping this bin now because it's not going to get warm again. It's absolutely freezing cold. So I may as well just put it all on the garden and let the garden have the benefits of all the stuff that's come out of the fleece, because there's going to be all bits of dirt, bits of poo. It's all going to fertilise the plants, but I'm going to leave it in here for another couple of weeks, let it smell a bit more, and then I'll put it on the garden. So I think that's it for now. I'll show you a picture of it all hanging up on the hanger and then show you when it's dry. So I've got my wool hanging up on the area. This is what came out of the sewing bin. And it's beautiful fleece, absolutely gorgeous. But they'll hang there now till tomorrow and hopefully they'll dry. I'll have to take them down tonight so that the hornets don't try and nest in it, because the hornet was back round again this morning and he chased me back in the house, but thankfully he went. But yeah, I don't want to leave it out and encourage anything to nest in it. But this is the wool. It's absolutely delicious. I didn't rewash it. What I thought was I just took it out the bin and then I'm going to dry it and then I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with it. I'm thinking a piece of felt so I can preserve the structure of the locks and the colour variation, and then maybe I could make something with it, like a jacket or a skirt or something like that. But I just want it to dry, and then once it's dry I'll decide what I'm going to do with it, put it away in a box, decide what I'm going to do with it, and then it'll get washed and washed and washed. So it's not going to stay dirty, but just for the time being it just means that I don't need to keep re-washing it until I decide what I'm doing it, because I could end up washing it and making it all nice and sparkly clean and then felt with it and just end up wasting my time, because it's going to have soap and water on it anyway when it gets felted. So, and I might end up ruining the structure of the wool if I keep doing it. So I'm just going to leave it as it is, let it dry, put it in a box and decide what I'm going to make with it. And maybe I'll make something with it before Christmas. I maybe make myself a dress or a skirt out of it. I quite like the idea of a dress. So yeah, I'll let you have a look at it tomorrow when it's dry. And yeah, going back in my workroom now to go and tidy up. See you in a bit. Welcome back to my room, to my workroom. Not really got much to show you this evening. I haven't done much crafting. I did take my weaving off the weaving loom and it's a little tiny bit short. This is what I've got so far, and could wear it like that, but it's a little tiny bit short for a, what they're called, collar for the winter. Tuck it under my hair. It's a little tiny bit short for a collar like that. It's going to be a bit but yeah, it's nice, but it'll look nice as a cowl. I did it like that, and that would look nice, but I don't know what I want to do with it. So at the moment I'm not going to do anything. It'd be nice as a pillow maybe, but it'd be a very small pillow. It is only, let's see, is only 28 inches long, so it's not very big. I could maybe put something else underneath, some other fabric underneath if I can find a nice pink. But I don't know. I don't know what to do with it at the moment, so I'm not going to do anything until I know what I want to do. So it's a reversible. It's plain on one side, fancy on the other. Lots of nice tasseling going on. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I don't love it. I was talking to a lady in the comments below and she said if it's not in your heart and you're not enjoying it, don't do it. Good philosophy, I think. So that's going to be my motto. I did find when I was rummaging these things. I'd completely forgotten, you know, about that drum carding course and all the things that I'd done on it. So I found the Rolex. Don't know whether you remember them. Lovely bunch of colour. Let's have a look. All this beautiful yumminess needs spinning up. So I need to free up one of my wheels so I can do it. So that was just the Rolex. Sorry, my battery died on my camera, hence the different aspect and the different angle. So yeah, I found these lovely Rolex that we did during the drum carding course. So I need to get them spun up. And we've also got these things that we dizzed off. Which was all these. All this was dizzed. We've got all this lovely colour. All that. So that was what we dizzed off with the diz. And then I did these bats. And I left this one as a bat. But then I went a bit wild and decided to put it all back on the drum carder. So we have, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Look at that. And look at all the sparkly bits and bobs that are in it. Isn't it beautiful? So I have, out of all those colours, I've got this. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? You can't really see how bright it is on the camera, but there's loads of it. So I've got all that to do. There's this one. So that was what I carded off and took off as a whole piece of stuff that we'd carded on the carder. And then this is what we got when I put it back on and then took it off in Rolex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin them, ply it with that, and that's going to be one yarn. Dropped one, hang on. One got away. So that's going to be that one. And then this one, what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to break it up and have it in equal amounts and spin each bit. And then ply it, and I'm going to ply it with this one. So this one's going to stay as it is. Then these colours are going to get broken up and they're going to get plied one after the other, and then we're going to have equal amounts all the way through, and then it's going to get plied with that, and that's going to make a completely different yarn again. And then we've got this one. And the blue in this one is the main colour. And then all those colours then are going to get broken up and plied onto the continuous one of this one. So that's going to be fun. So I need to clear one of my spinning wheels. I'm thinking of doing it on my Ashford Joy, the one that folds up. But I'm not sure yet. I've got a choice of 5. I'm not sure to spinning wheels. And I don't know whether you can see behind me, but there. In fact, is it too high up? No, it's up there. I've got another wheel. And it's not attached to a spinning wheel or anything. And I've just been given a lathe for free. I made a donation to charity for it, and it's a big, massive 1 metre long wood turning lathe. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to try and make a spinning wheel to use to spin wool, and I'm going to use the wheel that I've got up there. I just need to try and work out, on the back of a spinning wheel you've got a bit that sticks out, and when the pedals go up and down, or up and down, as a single treadle, it kind of comes away from the wheel as it turns. I need to work out how to do that to make the spinning wheel. I've also got planned, you know what I'm like for building things and doing stuff, I've also got planned to build another drum carder. Now you've seen my classic carder, so I can see how it's set up with the pulley wheels on the side for the band to go round to drive the big wheel on the little wheel. I've got loads of wood, and what I'm thinking of doing is, after talking to you the other day about making candlesticks out of these, is trying to find some nice smooth pine, stick a hole through the big piece of pine, stick a hole through a smaller piece of pine, wrap some drum carding cloth around it and use that as the drums, because when pine is dry it can be really, really lightweight, and I think that will be perfect for this purpose, because I've been trying to rack my brains as to how can I do the big drum and the little drum, because I've no idea how to do it. So I think if I can find some perfectly round pieces of pine, which you've seen my wood mounting outside, I'm sure I've got something in that. If not in that, I may have up the top end of the garden. So yeah, that's my thinking for a drum carder. And not just that, but I'm going to try and build a weaving loom as well. I've decided that I don't want to go and spend loads of money on new equipment, and I want an in-between sized weaving loom between the Samplice, which is a 10-inch, and the next one up that I've got that's a 24-inch. So I want about a 16 or an 18-inch loom. So it's kind of in the middle, so I can make wraps in a rectangle shape. And I don't want to make it on a pin loom, because I've got 2 pin looms now. I'm about to have a third because I've just bought the wood to build a 7-foot triangle loom to weave shawls with my art yarn. I don't know whether any of you watch My Noosh. I can't remember what the lady's called, but she makes the most fantastic shawls, and she made this beautiful wedding shawl, and it was out of art yarns in white. It was just pure white, and it was all these bumps and lumps, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And since then, since I've seen that, I wanted to make a weaving loom that's long enough for me to make a shawl like that. And the shawl was about 6 foot. In the longest part of the triangle, it was about 6 foot long. So I'm thinking I'd like to do the same. So I went to the wood yard the other day, and the poor guy in the wood yard, I went in and I said, I want to make a 7-foot triangle, equilateral triangle. What size wood do I need? So we were there in the wood yard with all this wood laid out on the floor. And we come to the conclusion that if you want a 7-foot loom, you want 8-foot lengths. And then gives you the 7 foot that way. And no, it'll give you 8 foot that way, 8 foot that way, but it'll give you 7 foot that way. So that was what we worked out to get an equilateral triangle, which is 3 equal sides. You need 8 foot lengths of wood to give you the 7 foot that way, which will give me a drop once I've taken it off of about 5 or 6 foot, because you do lose about a quarter when it all springs back. And especially if you're using things like this with locks, you can see if you pull it tight, it has a spring back. When I let go, it springs back. So it's exactly the same with wool. If you're pulling it tight on a loom, when you release it, it's going to spring back up again. So that's what you have to take into account. If you're going to build a loom, if I straighten it, let go, curls back up. So basically, in a nutshell, you just need to work out how much shrinkage you're going to get when you take it off and it bounces back, to work out sort of how big a triangle you need to have the length of shawl that you want. Now I've got a 5-foot triangle loom at the moment, and it makes roughly just over 3 foot of a triangle depth that way. So I can make things that go around your neck, but I can't make a big shawl. So yeah, that's my thinking for the triangle loom. So I've got the wood outside. When I build that, I'll turn the camera on for you and show you me doing that. But coming in the pipeline, hopefully, over the next few months through the winter, using some of the wood I've got in scrap in the house, is going to be coming a drum carder, a rigid heddle loom, and a triangle loom. Now I was lying in bed last night. I don't sleep very well at the moment for some reason, but I was lying in bed. I dropped you, sorry. You fell off my box. You're on top of my little knitting machine box. Yeah, when I was lying in bed last night, I was thinking, how can I make a rigid heddle loom? My brain just doesn't stop. It just doesn't know when to switch off. Well, I came to the conclusion I could use popsicle sticks. You know, ice lolly sticks that you get in the middle of your ice lollies? Well, if you look on eBay, you can get them in a pack of 100 and they're about £4. So I was thinking I could use them. If I put them as the teeth, I could make it into an art yarn heddle loom, which is good enough for me. And if I make it well enough, I'll be able to buy the heddles to fit off either the Ashford or the Kromsky. But I was thinking I could make my own art yarn one out of popsicle sticks. And all I need to do is put drill holes through the popsicle sticks, the ice lolly sticks. And as long as I leave a gap of about a matchstick, maybe a little bit more, between each one. I've got an art yarn heddle at the moment for my Ashford, so I can measure the gap between each one. Attach the ice lolly sticks to my piece of wood, put another piece of wood on the other side so that they're closed in, and glue it together, clamp it and glue it with some wood glue. It'll be absolutely fine. I can use brush poles for the pole at the end to attach the weave to. I've got some old handles off an old cupboard, so I could put them on one side, and then all I've got to think about then is building the crank on each side, and you can actually buy that from Ashford, and then you can add that onto the weaving loom. So I just need to work out how I'm going to do the crank, and I think if I have a roundish piece of wood, I can cut out the grooves, saw them out. I've got a band saw there, so maybe I could use that. Or borrow a fret saw off my dad. I can do all the gaps, and then I can make my own cog as well. So that's my thinking for that. So as you can see in bed, my brain just doesn't switch off. So yeah, so they're the plans to come. They're the things that I'm going to build. When I do, I'll switch the camera on for you and I'll show you how I make them. You can't half tell my dad's an engineer, can't you? Because my brain, you know, when I was in school, I was rubbish at maths and English. I was absolutely hopeless at academic stuff. But I love the idea of trying to figure out how to build something and make something. And that's really where the peg looms and the weaving looms came from that I'm going to be selling on my shop. I just thought, I want one of them. How do I make it? Dad, help me sort this out and work out a prototype. And from there, off I go. So yeah. Anyway, that leads me... Sorry, I'm a bit waffly today. That leads me on to my next thing that I like to say. And I'd like to say thank you. A really, really big thank you to all of you who have supported me through Ko-fi and who have bought things through my shop. I've been really touched by the response that I've had to all my handmade stuff. And I've been even more touched by the way that you donate to me and to my channel. And some of you donate really generously, and I'm so blessed and I'm so thankful for all the support and all the help that you do give me. Now, I've been saving some of it up in my PayPal account for... I do buy cups of coffee and hot chocolate, but I decided that you give so generously, I wanted to be able to put it to something that was good use. So what I've done this evening is I bought myself a pillar drill, and I bought it wholly with the money that you've donated to me for my channel. So I'm really thankful. Sorry, I'm getting a bit teary. I'm really thankful and I feel really blessed because it means now that I can go on, give my dad his equipment back and go on and make my own peg looms with my own drill and whatever else my heart desires to have a go at making. So I'm really thankful and I'm really grateful. So thank you very much. And when that arrives, I'll unbox it and I'll show you it, because you've all contributed, all you who've given to my Ko-fi account and bought things, you've contributed to me being able to buy that drill. So yeah, I really am very thankful. Thank you so much. You've been so wonderful. All the support you've given me on my channel, all the comments that you put in the comment section, all the friends that I've made. You're like pen friends. I remember when you used to write letters to people. You're all like pen friends, and I'm really grateful. So thank you very much. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there before I get all emotional. And I'm going to go off and get on with my making. I am doing the sheep necklaces again. I'm going to get in touch with Joyce. But I've decided that I'm not happy with the chains that I've got for my necklaces, and I'm ordering some more. So they'll be here for the middle of next week. And I'll get them put together and then put them back in my shop. I really don't like the chains that I've got, so I've decided I'm not happy to sell them with the chains that I've got, so I'm going to order some more and be able to put them. They are going to be silver, and yeah, I'll let you know when they're ready, and I'll put them back in my shop. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to go and get on with the rest of my evening, edit my video, get on with some crafts, and I'll see you in the next couple of days. So enjoy the rest of your evening or your day, whatever time of day you're watching, and I'll see you soon. So take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.